Hi, my name is Andy Hawker. I love things that go fast. I'm hoping that we can have some fun together. So join me as a fellow disciple of speed. Hello again and welcome, fellow disciples of speed. Today's episode is a little bit of a minor milestone for us. This is episode number 10. I'm very excited about that. And today I want to talk a little bit more now about Hot Wheels. I want to go over a little bit about some of the early on subsets of Hot Wheels, kind of like we looked at with Matchbox. And so today I want to look at a few of my heavyweights, steering rigs, the Rrrumblers, and Sizzlers. These are all just some really fun things that Mattel did with the Hot Wheels, but they also did one more that was not really a Hot Wheels, but it looked like a Hot Wheels to an extent, and it's called Farbs. So we'll look at those, and then after that, we'll look at some recent finds. Okay, so these are some of the subsets of Hot Wheels that they made, and I want to start off here with the heavyweights. The first one here is the fire engine. These came out in 1970 and 71. There were 13 different heavyweights that were produced, and I have 4. The most recent ones that I got were at an estate sale, so I was pretty happy to find them. But you can see that they come apart in the fire engine, and it was all kind of based on the same basic cab, and then different trailers. And this guy here is in really pretty darn good shape. It's got a few paint chips, but in really good condition. I like that one quite a bit. This next one is a moving van. So you can see it says Hot Wheels moving van, and again, another one in just super condition. You got the stickers intact. In the back, the door comes down. It's a plastic door, so kind of got to be careful with that so you don't overuse it. And then the next one here is the racer rig. Now this guy came out in 1970. This one here has the Spectra Flame paint, and then this one has the red enamel. This has the white enamel, and you can see that it's a car hauler for hauling a race car. And another one just in great condition. Then they had another type that had a basic chassis, the metal part here. And this is the ambulance. This came out in 1971 also. And then they could snap on the back here different plastic pieces to make it into a different vehicle. So there's the ambulance, there's a tow truck, there's a snorkel, which was a version of a fire truck, and then a scooper, which was the trash truck. So this guy here is in great condition too. Very, very good. Stickers are good. The back gate does open, and the back hatch, and it's really a nice one. Now this one was not a heavyweight, but I really like this one because it kind of goes with the racing group, this racing rig. This was called the crew car, and this was one that I had very, very early on. Some of the stickers are worn and missing, but it was a lot of fun. You open up the back, and then these 2 tool slides come out, and it lifts up where the wrenches are, so it presents the tools. Just a really fun car. I just wanted to share that one, kind of along the lines of the heavyweights. Now the next one that I want to talk about, the next series, is the steering rigs. The steering rigs came out in 1981-82, and I have a couple here that I've gotten over the years, different places. This one here is the Kenworth. You can kind of see the name there, and it's just your basic semi tractor. But what's different about it is this is where, of course, the trailer hooks. But here you got this extra hole on the side. And that was how the steering mechanism worked. And I'll show that to you. The next one that I have is from the Kenworth tanker. It was this yellow, or I'm sorry, orange Kenworth truck. Same thing. There's where the trailer would have hooked up, and then the steering mechanism. And recently I was able to find this one. So this is the Peterbilt hauler. Actually, this one was a this is the GMC van. Sorry. Yeah, the other one was the Peterbilt. This is the GMC van. So it's a GMC truck. You can see here. And again, you see where the trailer connects and the steering mechanism. So back here on the trailer was a little steering wheel that you could turn. And what that turned was this little metal piece right there. And that would turn your truck. So that's how the steering rig would work. You put it together with that little metal piece going down into that hole. And as you set it down and you're driving the truck, you can turn it as you're driving along on a playset. Really a fun little design. I just, like I said, I just recently got this trailer, so I was really happy to finally have a complete set and in such incredibly good condition. This is near mint, if not mint. So very, very happy with that. Now, this was not part of the steering rigs. This was the, as you can see here, the Thunder Roller. It's kind of hard to see with the reflection on that plastic chrome base. But the Thunder Roller really was not designed to have any truck associated with it. Although, you know, you can see that it's very similar in design to the steering rigs, but it was its own thing. And I've got I don't know, 3 or 4 of these guys with different paint schemes and so forth. But you can really see the difference. This came out in the 80s as well, so much bigger in the face and the scale there. But this is, I just want to give a little bit of a comparison. And again, that's one of the trucks I've had for a very long time that I've really taken good care of. Next is the Rrrumblers. Now, the Rrrumblers came out in 1971, 1973, and they were just a very unique vehicle as well. They were motorcycles, right? And so initially they came out with 16 different motorcycles, and I've got 5. And so I just want to show those to you. And really, these are getting harder and harder to find. I mean, you can find them online. You can spend quite a little bit of money online. But I like to look for them in antique stores and places like that. This one here was called the Mean Machine. And it's just kind of your classic 70s chopper. All of these would have had a rider on them. And the riders could easily be lost, obviously. But I'm pretty fortunate I have 3 of the original riders as well. So that was the Mean Machine. This one is called Torque Chop. So a little play on words there. And so it's a 3-wheeler, and it's got the rider in his top hat. And this one's in great condition, and very, very happy when I found this one. And again, having the rider is pretty special as well. This one is called the Roman Candle. So, and Roman is spelled R-O-A-M-I-N. There really was no room to have the names on the bottom in the casting, but you can find them online. And again, very fortunate to find the rider. And this one is actually the newest one to the collection of the Rrrumblers that I've got. This Rrumbler I've had the longest. It's been around for quite a while. It's still in really pretty good shape. This is the Choppin' Chariot. So you can see how it looks like a chariot. Of course, the rider was missing. It's also missing the one handrail over here. Got snapped off somewhere along the line. But other than that, in good condition. I'm real happy with that. And I have had this Rrumbler the longest. And then the last one that I've got is called Revolution. And this is kind of fun and unique. It's got the same rider that I have over there on the Torque Chop. It's the with this top hat down in there, you can see that, but it's got a little cab on it, which makes it kind of unique. And so it's got the big radial engine like an airplane, and which is, I guess, where the name Revolution came from. But it's in really good condition, and to have again the cab and the rider, that's pretty exciting. And then in going back, I guess, a little bit to 1970, Hot Wheels came out with their Sizzlers. And so initially there were there were, well, they made them from 1970 to 1978. And over that time, they made 24 different Sizzlers. And I've got 4, you know, not too many. This was kind of that next evolution in the track world, because, again, Hot Wheels were designed to go on the track. And initially it was gravity, right? You set the track up and the car just rolled down using gravity. And then they came out with the turbocharger, which was, we looked at that in an earlier episode, where it was the building that had the foam pads that spun and the car would shoot through the building and go on the track. And they had a couple of different iterations of that. And then they came out with the Sizzlers. And how the Sizzlers worked, where you would get this little, it looks like a gas pump. It's the juice machine. And what the juice machine was you put 4 D-cell batteries in the back, and then it had this little plug-in, and you would plug it in to the side of the car, and you would charge the car. It had a capacitor motor in there, and you push down on the top of the juice machine and hold it, and it would charge it up. And then when you put it onto, or just before you put it onto the track, you take out the charger, and you would turn the car on here on the bottom. And you would turn it on, flip the switch, put it on the track, had these little rubber bands on the wheels to give it traction. And this was that next iteration of making the cars go. And again, Hot Wheels was all about making the cars go on the track. So this one here was the Boss Hoss 302, or Mustang Boss 302. And Hot Wheels also came out with the Boss Hoss, but that was a different casting. Here was the Ford Mark IV. We talked about the Mark IV before when we looked at some of the race cars. And this one is in really good shape as well. It's got its stickers. And there's that telltale hump in the roof where Dan Gurney's helmet could fit. And then I have, this one is called the Angelino M70. So just one of their fantasy designs. It is missing one wheel, unfortunately, but I think I found this one in a bag of toys at a either flea market or secondhand store or something. So when I found that was kind of fun. And the last one here is called Livewire, and this one is also kind of a fantasy car, but reminiscent of the Le Mans type race cars of the day. And so the last one I want to talk today about is Farbs. And Farbs were a very short-lived series. There were only 4 of them produced in 1972. I have one, and this one is called Hot Rodney. Now you can see that the body of the car is a body of a guy, and the engine in this case is sitting on his lap. He's got a helmet, and this one happened to have goggles that came down too, but the goggles easily could come off and get lost. It was during the Redline series. You can see the Redline tires, the first generation Redline. So it's really a fun car. And again, there were only 4 of them produced. I have the one, and eventually someday I'll get the other 3 to make the collection complete. But a great series. So those are the Hot Wheels that I wanted to look at today to give you an idea kind of some of the a little more unusual series that they did very early on, but are just some of the most really fun ones to find today as well. Next, we'll take a look at some recent finds. Okay, now we're going to look at some recent finds. The first one I want to show you, I have this. This is the Matchbox GMC Tipper truck, but I recently was at an antique store and I saw this. Actually, one of the clerks who kind of knows me said, "Hey, we just got a couple of these in, and this box is in pristine condition." I'm just totally blown away by how good that is. And then here's the truck, and this guy is virtually mint condition. I'm so pleased. Of course, the cab rolls forward to see the engine and the bed tips. So just a great little find here. The thing about this particular truck is that it was a transition vehicle. And so that means that it had the black plastic wheels initially, and then later became a super fast. And we've looked at some of those previously that were transition vehicles. So this is one of the early ones, one of the originals, in its original box. And I could not be more happy with that. It's just such a great find. So I just wanted to share that with you. This one will be obviously one that I will hang on to. And next, let's look at some of the ones I've gotten some, again, I said, at an antique store, and my wife and I recently were on a vacation, so I got some on vacation, and so we'll look at those. The first one I want to take a look at is a dinky, and it's part of their commercial vehicle set. They broke them down into subsets, and it's this Abilene Barfer diesel roller. So this is a bigger scale, obviously, and as you can see, this thing is in great condition. So this is from about 1965. That's when this was first being produced. And so for the age and everything, I'm just incredibly happy with this. Minimal wear, maybe a little bit of cleanup, but other than that, just great shape. And the driver is in there. He looks good. These side doors would open to show the engine. And again, they're plastic, so you just want to be real careful with those, not to overuse them and cause them to break off, especially with the age. But that one is just gorgeous. I'm very, very pleased with that. We'll put that right over there. And then the next one is also part of their commercial vehicle set. And it's a Foden flatbed truck with chain. So you can see this truck, great condition also. So this would have come out beginning in 1952, and so just fantastic. I'm very, very impressed with how nice this is. It still has a little tow hook back here. It's got the red hub with the plastic wheels, the spare tire on the bottom. Just incredibly nice condition. And I'm surprised that the chain is here as well. So this would just be a cargo truck, and would have the chain on it, and just a lot of fun. I really, really like that one. That was a great find. Next is still dinky, and this comes from their Farm and Garden series. This is number 342, came out in 1949, and it's called Motocart. So you can see it's just a little farm cart, three-wheeled. The back does dump. The driver is here. Minimal paint wear. It's a little front engine driven vehicle, and that guy is just great. Yeah, again, this one would have been started production in 1949. So just such a really great find and a great addition to the collection. And I really wanted to share that one with you. That is just a tremendous amount of fun. Next, we have some cars. They're dinky still. And this one is called the Estate Car. So this is your kind of classic Woody. And you know, this car would have begun production 1952. You can see that the bottom here has some rust. You see the number, it's a 344 is the collector number, Dinky Toys. And you'll see that there's a little rust here because, you know, Dinky was by the company Meccano. Now, Meccano was a company that made pressed metal toys initially, and then they got into the die cast. So a lot of their bases, most of their bases were pressed metal. They also did pressed metal construction sets, much like in this country they would have been erector sets, but they did the same kind of thing. That's really how they got started in England. But this car is in really good condition, and again began production in '52. So I'm very, very pleased with that as well. Next we have the Packard Clipper. So this guy is collector number 180, and this one would have begun production in 1958. And you can see that the base on this, while it's still pressed metal, is in much better condition than the last one. It's not rusty, but look at the paint on this. I mean, I'm just so incredibly blown away by how good this is. This is in great condition. So this is another wonderful addition to the collection, and very happy with that. The next one is very much like it in the sense that it's another Packard. This is the Packard Convertible. Again, you can see the dinky toys. This is number 132. 132 began production in 1955. So again, for the age, this guy is in really, really nice shape. The paint is just almost flawless. If anything, it just needs a little bit of cleaning. Very minor paint chips. You will see though that there's a hole in that driver's seat. That's where the driver would have been. So there's a missing driver from this. But I'll do a little research online and see if one of the aftermarket companies has the driver for this, and see if I can't pick that up. This vehicle comes from the emergency subset of dinky, and you can see here that it is the Ford Fairlane. Now, the Ford Fairlane was a regular car in the series, but then they also made a couple of emergency vehicles out of it by adding, you know, the red light on top and the police decorations on it. But this guy has a little bit of wear, but just not that much. Again, really great condition. I'm very happy with that. And you will notice here though, there is a hole back here next to the trunk lid, and that's where an antenna would have been. So the antenna on this is missing, but that's a pretty minor detail, frankly. Just another really great car. Then we have some Corgis. So if we look at the next one, is this little Corgi van. So this van is called a Comer mobile camera van. So this would have been, you can see it looks like a, you know, like the slapstick that's used to set a scene on film. They could bring all of their movie equipment in there. They got the roof rack up here. Just really good condition. I'm very pleased with that. So another nice addition to the collection. There's the Corgi, and of course it's a Comer bus, 2500 series, but this particular version of the bus is the camera van. And next we have a little trailer. So this is it's called you can see here, the Rice pony trailer, and this would have come out in 1958, and it has the door that comes down, obviously, for the horses. No horses, but I bet I can come up with some. And just a nice little trailer. This is the second Corgi horse trailer that I've come up with, and again, in very good condition. Very happy with that. So we're gonna put that one right here. At the same time, this was actually sold as a set, and I was able to pick up this little Land Rover, and you can see that it is it's called Land Rover. It's a little hard to see, but it's a 109-inch wheelbase. So it's kind of a funny name, but it actually is distinctive in that sense in the collection categories of that you find online. So the little Rover here still has a spare tire up front, a little bit of paint chips here, but other than that, you know, really pretty good condition. It's got the little tow hook still. This would have come out in 1957, and it was number 406. Now it's really, you don't really see the 406 on the bottom, which is kind of unusual, but in my research I found out that it was number 406. And so this was sold as a set, and I got a really nice, reasonable price on that. And frankly, it looks like it could have been a set. I don't find anything online that tells me that was sold as a set, but it may have been, for all I know. I found a large Majorette. This is made by Majorette, and Majorette makes a lot of smaller cars, but this is one of the larger ones. It's made in France, so it's a 1/47 scale. And I tried to come up with the French on this. It's pompe en incendie. My French is pretty bad, but what that means is fire pumper. So it's a fire truck. Great condition. Stickers are intact. These little side doors pop open, little storage doors. It has one of the water pipes. It's missing one water pipe there, and it's missing the ladder. Not very uncommon for a toy that got played with. But for a toy that got played with, nice condition. Very happy with that. Okay, so next I want to show you this Lesney Super King that I recently found. This is the, if you can see it there, pickup wrecker. So it's the K6/11. This one happens to be a K6, but there was a set it could have come in as well. But this one's in pretty good condition. The stickers are not bad. I got it for a pretty decent price. And what's really interesting about this is that it is, I got this at the Toy Shack in Las Vegas, and when I saw it I was pretty happy. I don't have this one, and you know, the K6 K11, I think I have it backwards. This is the K11 version, because the K6 version did not have the tow hooks. It had a clear plastic back shell, and then when the ramp comes down, you can see a slot here, and there's part of a slot up here underneath the tow hooks. But this was a motorcycle transporter, and you can see where the clear plastic shell would have snapped in there. So it was either a motorcycle transporter, or they converted it then to this tow truck. So another nice addition to the Super Kings. Always looking for Lesney. Along that same line, here we go, is a Matchbox Super King. And this is the Europa Caravan. So it's a camp trailer, and incredibly nice condition on this thing. I'm very, very happy with it. The door does not open, which is a little deceiving. You would look at this and you think it does open, but it's got plastic tabs that don't allow it to open. Little odd in that respect, but pretty good shape. I'm real pleased with that, and the paint is just really nearly perfect. I'd almost call that a mint condition. So great little trailer. Following along, this is a Speed King, which, as you remember, is a subset of the Super Kings. K42 Nissan 270X. So it's an experimental type car. Never was a real actual production car. But look at this, fantastic condition. All these stickers are perfect. The paint is perfect. I would call this one in mint condition. Of course, the cockpit opens, and to reveal the interior, you know, get in and out. But this guy is just great. Even the base paint is perfect. So another virtually mint condition vehicle. So this one now is a another Dinky. So here we go, Dinky Toys, and this is the Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud 3, and it is number 127. And so this is a and I apologize, I've forgotten the year on this, but this would be a little bit newer than the other ones that we looked at a little bit earlier. But what's nice about this, the doors open, the seats fold forward, and the hood opens as well. And it's got the dual side opening hood. And so just a nice little Rolls-Royce. And again, really good condition. I'm very pleased with this. This would have been in the 60s, and nice car, very nice car. Okay, I have this Corgi Surtees, and it is the let's see if we can do it here, TS9 F1 Formula 1 car. Now, I already have 3 of these, and when I saw this one, I wasn't going to get it initially, but really the reason I did is because this is by far the best condition of any of them that I have. The stickers are perfect. The paint is very good. It's just really in nice condition. So I couldn't pass it up. And the price was really pretty darn good too. So, but another Formula 1 car. Very nice car. Lastly, I want to show you one other car. We'll unbox this. I picked this up also at the Toy Shack, but it's a mini GT, so I don't show too many, you know, new or contemporary made cars, but this one I really liked. It's a Lincoln Capri, and it's just a beautiful little car. And really the reason that I got it was I wanted to add this to the car lot, my diorama car lot, and having an old Lincoln like this was just perfect. So I picked that up, and real happy with that. So with that, we're going to close out, and I've had just so much fun, as you can see here, hunting for cars to add to the collection. And I hope that you're having a lot of success and having fun. And until next time, happy hunting.